My name is Calum, and in the studio we have some special guests who are joining us today. It is Don Palmer, as well as Pura Waingi from the Malpa project. Don Palmer is the founder of Malpa Institute, and Pura Waingi is a person who's also, he's got loads and loads of things that is against your name. I think it's quite fantastic. Chairman of Elders Visiting Group, Aboriginal Advisory Group to Menzies, the Manupi Corporation Director, former Chair, Tiwi Island Regional Council Director, former Chair, and loads and loads and loads of more. You're kind of a big name out there, aren't you?
I don't know. It's good.
We're here to talk about the Malpa project, about issues with funding, as well as what it's all about.
Malpa is a Western Desert word meaning friends on the journey. And this all started when I was working as a television producer, and I was spending time in the town camps there, and I was just overcome with how sick the children were. And I asked the elders, why is this? Why is it that so much money is spent and yet people's lives are so sad? And they said it's because these things are never responded to in the Aboriginal way, and they're never really fully engaging of Aboriginal people. So they were kind enough to explain to me what the Aboriginal way was, and that was with the Ngangkari, who part of their work, they look for children with the right attitude, the right aptitude, and they start sharing the health knowledge and raising them to be doctors. So we said, well, if we did something like that, would that be a good thing? And they said yes. So we set about doing that. So what happens in a community? When they decide they want Malpa, they invite us in. So we never ask to go in.
Okay.
They invite us in, and then we sit there down and we have the conversation. What do you think your children need to know to lead a long and healthy life? The answer is different in every place, but it's their answer. They decide what they want to do, and then they set together delivering a program. Teach the kids in a fun way, and then the kids share that knowledge.
Okay. So in terms of things that they can help themselves with.
Absolutely. And that can be a whole range of things. It might be around diabetes, but one of the big things is around hearing health and what you can do. Simple things like blowing your nose, wiping your face, hand hygiene. So fundamental and so doable. But if you don't get that right, the kids end up deaf for life.
Yes, Radio Larrakia, as well as Aboriginal Broadcasting, ran an ear health campaign a few years ago. So we covered all of the, we all agree, it's an incredibly important thing that seems to get overlooked quite often. So you've got programs set up about keeping personal hygiene for children. Would you like to talk about how you've implemented it and how people have actually taken it upon themselves?
Yeah, well, it is a range of things. So they learn about things. They learn about environmental health. They learn about psychological well-being. They learn about hygiene, about nutrition, a whole range of things. And the emphasis sits where the community believe it's important. So it depends, and when it comes to Tiwi, well, Tiwi Island people will determine exactly what you want because you know best. Parawinki, you know it in your heart. All the community knows what the kids ought to know to be healthy and lead a long life.
Absolutely. And one thing that has inspired me about Malpa program is the fact that it empowers the children and the community elders who become involved in delivering the Young Doctors program, Malpa, in their community. And when I first heard about Malpa by Don being successful, and it's been running for 4 years, it now has about 1,000 young doctors.
Wow.
That's Indigenous and non-Indigenous. Is that right, Don?
Yeah, the elders said to me very clearly, they said, if you want to start this project, you must have non-Indigenous kids as well.
Okay.
And this has been really interesting because I thought the need was just for the Indigenous kids. But the idea was there's real reconciliation happens. They build what we hope will be lifelong friendships.
Yes, and absolutely. It's beneficial in many ways, like you said, Don, to a community as a whole.
And you're also a teacher.
Oh, look, that's been my passion to get the children and families, community, elders to drive, to drive things in their community, to make decisions, be responsible, rather than having things imposed on them. So this is it's something obviously that's in my passion and Don to have people drive these things, and something that they will be proud of, to see the changes in their children. It'll have a positive consequence, a positive educational and health outcome as a result of using our products. It has worked and it will work.
This is actually an issue that I know a lot of other projects and things along this like are occurring as well, such as like the Jimmy Little Foundation. It's a thing aimed at children that go out there and healthy eating. That's the main initiative. And they're having trouble with funding and they have to go beyond what they used to actually make ends meet.
Malpa's never received any government funding, but now we move into a different space because we're going to fund this through selling a product and then going about the social change.
And I'd like to start using Malpa in Tiwi first, to start there, because it's such a wonderful program, obviously being successful. And the products that I mentioned that we will be using is these hand sanitizers. You just spray it on your hand, and it'll last for a day. You don't have to, regardless of what you come in contact with, you're germ free, because it's a mechanical kill. It just kills the germs.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. It's a 24-hour.
So it's like a little carry one that's small. It's a little spray that kids can rub their hands with.
Yeah, but the difference is that this is non-alcohol spray, and it's quite effective. The other product, of course, is the surface defense, which you can put on any surface, tables, on your mobile phones, and it'll stay disease-free for up to 30 days. And having these products and Malpa, young doctors going into the school will be a blessing.
Well, the Malpa project looks like a very good thing for all communities, and you guys are heading to Tiwi very soon. How can people get involved, or how can people help?
Well, I think if they want to check out our website, which is obviously www.malpa.org, there's some short videos there. They can get an idea of who's involved. But always it's local communities doing it for themselves. It's not people like me coming in from the city or somebody coming along in a big white car. It's the local people fully in control of what they're doing and delivering it themselves. So if there are communities out there who think, oh, maybe this is something that might work for us, then we would be very happy to hear from them. And the next step then would be we would get people in a community where this is working to go and sit down with them. So it's Indigenous people sharing with Indigenous people, telling the stories, no gammon, straightforward. And then people think, well, do we want to take the next step forward? And if so, we're very happy to help them.
And we need to strengthen the perception about schools, because it is community-owned schools out in particularly up here in the remote communities. But the adults, the Aboriginal communities, don't tend to come to school very often. So this is an opportunity to have the community elders to participate in this young doctor by being in school. And this is an after-hours program, so it won't interfere with their curriculum in any way.
Well, the good thing about the curriculum, Parawinki, is that it aligns with the national curriculum, the mandated curriculum that every school has to deliver around health and PE.
Great.
This covers all those areas and a whole lot more, but it does it in a way that really involves the whole community.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, Purawingi and Don, is there any other things you'd like to say before we head off?
I've been talking to a few people at Palangampi at my community about the young doctors, about Malpa, and I'm going to just letting the people know at Wurumyanga and Mulkabiri that I'm going to very shortly go there and talk to the people. So another way, do it our way, to go and talk to them personally about the young doctors. They've heard about it, but I need to go and speak to them to get their views and their engagement, hopefully, in this.
Yeah. And I'd just say that it never fails to impress and inspire me what people can do when they are supported and they're trusted to do something and to create their own future.
Absolutely, and that's the answer. That's the key to letting Aboriginal people take control and be responsible for delivering any programs in their communities. Help them believe that they can do this.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for both of you for joining us today, and we wish you all the best of luck for Malpa, and hope to see you back again sometime in the future with some great results.
Hey,
It's a
thanks for your
pleasure.
interest.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.